the Owen Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
Age comes with wisdom, and wisdom comes with benefits. That's especially true when it comes to Medicare. So make the wise call and go to signawise.com to compare your Medicare Advantage plan to Signa today. Signa offers dental coverage and $0 primary doctor visits in most areas. Hearing, vision, and an over-the-counter allowance all in one plan. You can even earn rewards for doing healthy activities. So go to signawise.com and compare your Medicare Advantage plans to Signa today. Again, that website is signawise.com. Signa Medicare Advantage, because wisdom comes with benefits. Benefit options vary by plan and service area. You must reside in the plan service area. Signa is contracted with Medicare for PDP plans, HMO, and PPO plans in select states, and with select state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in Signa depends on contract renewal.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Signa and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello, good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in on this extraordinary Tuesday morning, day after Christmas. My name is Gary Owen, and I am the president of Owen Insurance Group and your handsome, intelligent, beautiful, wonderful host.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know how to follow that, but I'm your co-host, Tom Bouvier, and I've been a privilege to work with this beautiful, handsome, intelligent, awesome host, Gary Owen.
And in case you're wondering what the heck you're tuning into, this is the world-famous Quality of Life radio show, and it's quite going to be a bittersweet day, because this is going to be not only our last show of 2024, but it's going to be our last show, period. So we're going to make this a 1 hour special show, and Tom and I are going to go over the last 3 years, kind of like segment what were the highlights of the last 3 years of this show that we did every single Tuesday morning here on WSTU 1450 AM, where Tom and I are in the studio now, so we're taking our last show live here in the studio, and also on WPSL 1590. And we surely appreciate the Wyatts for their support, and we appreciate them and for the opportunity. We also appreciate Iggy for being here with us as well. And of course, Evan 9 has been with us all the time. And Evan, thank you for the past 3 years for being with us and supporting us for the show. And Tom, finally, we were here every single Tuesday.
Yes, we were, and it was a joy, and it's been a pleasure. And as Gary's saying, it's kind of bittersweet, but we brought lasting information that actually changed people's lives, relevant content, important information about insurance planning. We're from Owen Insurance Group, and we believe that insurance planning can be very, very tricky, and we believe you don't need to take the road alone. So we call this the no plop zone, the no BS zone. That we brought transparency, good old-fashioned straight talk to you about insurance planning, because it can be quite a maze, quite disturbing, quite confusing out there. And our job is to improve people's quality of life through their insurance planning. And the mission of Owen Insurance Group simplify insurance planning so that you can enjoy the stress-free life that you deserve. And I believe the quality of life, for the most part, if not 100% of the time, we batted 1,000. We did that. We had
Absolutely.
important guests. We had wonderful guests on the show as well. But we brought that information that really, truly helped people's lives.
And also, Tom, very well said, by the way. And also, we really got to speak to a lot of you out there in the community who needed help. You heard our show. Obviously, it builds credibility knowing that we've been here on the Treasure Coast for 38 years. Here in the insurance industry, myself alone for over 16, 17 years. And with 12 field managers, I mean, we are growing exponentially. And speaking of our field managers, we want to say hello to those field managers that are tuning in throughout the state of Florida. Wade's up in Virginia, and we also have Barry in Texas. So we want to say thanks to all of our field managers for your undying support and being out there and spreading the word, the mission, the goal. And as Tom said, we are here to provide transparency. There's a lot of misinformation out there. Yes, even in this industry, there are a lot of bad actors out there. So it's our mission, it's our goal, it's our passion to help consumers make the best decision for their insurance planning needs. Because I always say, and Tom, you love this quote.
I do.
The decisions you make today can last a lifetime. It's important to get it right the first time. So as we go through and highlight some of the topics that we spent the last 3 years on and educating you, our listeners, we're going to hopefully hit home the importance of what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and what you should be looking out for, and what you should not fall prey to. So hang tight and listen to that. Before we get started, we're going to, Tom, do the honors for the quote of the day.
Absolutely. Thank you. So fitting in allows you to blend in with everyone, but being different allows you to be yourself, to be unique, and to be more creative. So go out there and be yourself today and give somebody a smile as well.
Be creative. Be unique. There's so many people that are trying to fit in, blend in. It's easier that way. It's easier to blend in than it is to be different. Step outside your comfort zone and do the things that are different that so many are unwilling to do. So, as we said, we're going to share some information for the last 3 years of our show. We are tuning in live on Facebook. If you're listening in and tuning in on WSTU 1450 AM or WPSL 1590 and you're getting close to your destination, feel free to tune in on Facebook Live, and that's going to be at Quality of Life Radio Show. All you have to do is follow us at Quality of Life Radio Show to tune in. So one thing before we get started, Tom, we put together top 10 lessons for the Quality of Life Radio Show for the past 3 years. So before we do that, we always used to do, when we're doing the 1 hour shows, a fun health fact, Tom.
Oh, this is a great one.
And this was, I think, the best one that we've ever had. And I went through all of those, and I picked this one because, for me, I don't drink 8 glasses of water a day. And so, God knows I need to. I got to do better at it. And I'm trying, and I do better. I have been doing better than I have. But this is very interesting information that you might need to take home, ponder, and implement in your life, because the water of life is important to have for your body.
That's right.
So, in 1945, the U.S. Food and Nutrition Board of the National Research Council made an official recommendation for water intake. The recommendation translates to roughly 64 ounces per day. And it referred to a person's total daily water intake, not just pure water, but also the amount taken in from foods and other beverages, though it was widely misinterpreted to mean that everybody, everywhere, should drink 8 ounces or 8-ounce glasses of plain water every day. There are many factors that affect water needs and hydration status, such as body size, climate, activity and metabolic rate, and so forth. So water needs may differ from one individual to another, and even for the same person under different circumstances. And finally, 1 to 2% water deficit is enough to lower exercise performance, impair cognitive function. Wow, that's a big one. And worsen cardiovascular function. That's not fun either. The National Institute of Health, or NIH, suggests that adults who are not sufficiently hydrated may age faster, face a higher risk of chronic diseases such as lung disease, diabetes, heart failure, and stroke, and may be more likely to die younger than those who stay well hydrated.
Those are amazing facts, and I guess it really shouldn't be, because they say our body is 70% water. So continually having a nice inflow and outflow of nice clean water helps all of the internal parts of your body, as well as your skin, the largest organ on your body.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
There's a program that we downloaded, I got for Christmas with a scale. Scale was not your friend. Anyway, with a scale, and we downloaded it on my iPhone app with the weight, and so it tracks your weight loss and your BMI and all these different things, and it tells you your metabolic age. I'm not going to repeat what my metabolic age was on the show, but it was not nice.
Does it set off alarms when your weight gets to a certain amount?
I'm like, there's no
bang,
way.
Bang, bang, stop eating.
So I got to start drinking more water. I just really have to focus on doing more of it. And 8 ounce glasses of water every day, folks.
Yeah,
That's
it does clean out your body and a lot of toxins. And of course, if you're sweating a lot, may even need a little bit more. So,
Tom,
yeah.
Talk about the top 10 lessons from the QI radio, Quality of Life radio show, and what would you say your biggest takeaway was being on the show for the last 3 years? You weren't expecting that, I know.
No, I was not expecting
Probably
that. But that's okay. So as far as my biggest takeaway doing the show is, I guess I personally learned that actually I do know a lot. And I mean, not to make it about me, but you asked the question. I realized that in a moment of any time, even if we had a lot of time to prepare or a little bit of time to prepare, that you and I both, because of the wealth of knowledge and 16 years for you, almost 10 years for me in the health insurance industry, that we do know a lot about a lot of different topics regarding insurance planning. And and it's been fun to disseminate that information, and to realize the information we have is valuable to people. It can change people's lives, and as you're fond of saying, getting it right the first time, because that decisions you make now could last a lifetime. And it not only lasts a lifetime, it can be a matter of life and death by choosing the right insurance product. I think those are the things I learned. The importance of insurance, not only for myself, but the more I talked about it, and we're educators. That's what we're all. We're not salespeople. And I've told this to Gary and to so many of my clients. I said, listen, I can honestly say I haven't sold an insurance policy like selling in the sense of trying to push people into something.
Right.
I've just educated them.
That's it.
So it's been an educational moment every time we come into the room for me.
Indeed it has. So.
Yeah.
The mission of OIG. I mean, we started out saying that Owen Insurance Group, our mission was to simplify insurance planning so you can enjoy the stress-free life you deserve. Because we're all heading down that same highway, and Father of Time is not slowing down for any single one of us. And then when we get to that point in our life, in our golden years, where you need to have, in my opinion, the best health plan as you think about Medicare and get into Medicare age, because it is truly important that you get it right. Because we have met so many consumers and clients and prospective clients who have come to us who made the wrong choice, Tom. And unfortunately, we could not help them to transition to a different type of plan that would have been better suited for them and for their health and needs. because they chose the wrong plan. So we're going to kind of cover those topics later in the show this morning. But do you want to start with number 10?
Sure.
Or do you want to start with number 1? Are we going backwards, 10 to 1?
Well, I put this down as far as what like the top 10, and number 1 being the most important.
Perfect.
I shouldn't say most important, but these are just the way I put them down. But kind of a countdown, like what's the guy's name on the Late Show years ago?
Him.
Him. That's the one. The opposite of
Letterman.
Yeah, the opposite of Johnny Carson, David Letterman. For us old folks.
Thank you, Evan.
Yeah. Number 10. Number 1 is number 10.
Number 1 with a 0.
Number 1 with the 0 is this. Know your enrollment periods. What does that mean? That means the time frames in which you can make a change, enroll in a plan, and available options. So, and that relates even if you have employee group coverage, because there are time frames. There's open enrollment for your company. There's open enrollment for Medicare. There's open enrollment periods for the marketplace, and so many different types of insurance do have time frames. Many insurance products do not have time frames, meaning any time of the year, pick up a phone, we could talk to you about, say, dental and vision insurance or life insurance. But other ones have time frames, and you need to know them, because if you miss them, sometimes you miss the boat, there are penalties to pay. And late enrollment penalties are real, in particular with Medicare. So know those things, and that's one of the things we do is educate people about them.
And I want to comment on that one thing that you mentioned, Tom. AEP just concluded on December 7th. So for those that are on Medicare from October 15th through December 7th, you have to make an election during your annual enrollment period, AEP. Then that takes effect on January 1. There are a large number of Medicare beneficiaries who seem to put their head, they want to kind of mimic an ostrich and put their heads in the sand and hope that they don't have to make a decision, and hoping that what they have is going to work. And then when January 1st comes and they see that their premiums for their drug plan now is 200 to 300% higher than it was the previous year, then they wonder why this is happening, because they didn't pick up the phone, they didn't call us, call our office to have a review done, because it is important to have a review done because of that very situation. We see this happen all the time. The drugs change, the formulary changes all the time, benefits change on Medicare Advantage plans and so forth. So that is a very important component, is the annual election period.
Sure is.
And then January 1, Tom, if they kept their head in the sand, now the new year is dawning, and now we're moving into 2024, and they're like, okay, what can I do? Is there an opportunity within another election period that we could help them with?
Yes. So in particular for Medicare, there is what's called the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period between January 1st and January 31st. Only if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, you can make a change to another plan, go back to original Medicare, get a drug plan, apply for Medicare supplement. There's a couple of special enrollment due to disasters and different things going on in the state of Florida, Hurricane Ian, several others that are out there that would allow people to make changes even in their drug plans. But January 1st through March 31st is that Medicare Advantage open enrollment period.
That's right. And real quick, before we go to number 9, Tom, just want to mention on Facebook, we're getting a lot of comments, and so we appreciate that. Keep those comments coming. Dilbert's in the house from Broward County. Thank you, Sherry Stevens, my friend. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Glad to have you. Linda, great job. Great work, guys. So much important information. Thank you so much, Linda. Appreciate you being on the show and watching us as well. And Lisa Teeter, thanks for joining us this morning. Great comments. And we really appreciate you guys being on. Lori Thompson-Gaines up in Jacksonville, and Debbie. So many of you are watching and tuning in, so thank you very much. Tom, let's go to number 9.
So people need to understand the true value and use of insurance in their life. And so we could have so many different examples about life insurance clients, people who had accident sickness policies, indemnity policies, dental insurance, or not having it. I mean, so many things. Insurance basically is a compensation from an insurance carrier to you for a loss, a damage, an injury, a sickness, or a death. So even if you have a copay, it's in a sense a compensation. They're paying a large portion, maybe 80%, and you pay 20%. Sometimes it's a full 100%. So understanding the value and the use of insurance in your life will. That's one of the things we did. We educated people about how insurance can help their life.
Yeah, and quite frankly, you talk about life insurance, so I'm going to hit this real quick. I don't think the majority of Americans understand the importance and the value of having life insurance, because there is new life insurance that your grandfather didn't have access to years ago. Mm-hmm. So life insurance products today, hybrid life insurance that have a long-term care component to it, and life insurance that you don't have to die to use. If you've developed a critical or chronic illness, right?
Doesn't
you can
sound
use your
right,
life insurance
but
policy.
it's true. Yeah.
So there is some great opportunities to protect your quality of life. We put greater emphasis, which is sad. It sickens me to death. But there are so many that put more value and emphasis on protecting their home, their Mercedes-Benz or their BMW, and other things, or their motorcycles and their airplanes and their boats, but not their life. And I just can't fathom that. I can't comprehend why people do that and don't see the value of protecting their family, their lives with valuable life insurance. That's affordable.
It's affordable. The younger you get it, the better it is. And I tell you, even if you're in your 50s, 60s, and even above that, there are options for you. So give us a call at 772-210-1020, 772-210-1020, Owen Insurance Group. We can help.
All right. So if you don't have life, get a life insurance policy. All right, Tom, what is number 8?
We talked a lot about health, because, of course, quality of life and health. But your health is your greatest wealth. I love that quote. I saw it years ago. I don't always practice it as much as I should, but I do keep it in the forefront of my mind the majority of the time, and I do try to emphasize it. We have, on this show, we've had doctors, nutritionists, dietitians, and others on the show explaining how and to bring better health to your life. Because if you have all the money in the world but your health is bad,
here,
it's just, you can't pay somebody to exercise for you. You can't pay somebody to eat healthy for you. You can't pay somebody to do what only you can do, and only you can control the quality of your life, number one, and the health of your physical body. You can do everything you can. You should do everything you can to make health being one of your number one priorities, not only now, but for the rest of your life, not just for next year.
100%. So very, very important.
That was an important lesson. I think we taught a lot.
And we had Farrah Taylor. On the show, and she had a huge impact when she was here in the studio with us on the show. She had a huge impact on my life and what she was saying, that I had to go see her and utilized her expertise to help get me on the right path. Even though I've kind of slid off that path a little bit, Tom, I know that these are the steps to take to do the right thing to get back on that path. And so many people, and you don't need to wait until the New Year's to make a New Year's resolution. If you're unhappy with your life, where you're at in your life, with your health, with your appearance, with your career, you can change that at any time. You don't have to wait till a certain day and time to make those changes.
Absolutely.
All right, number 7.
And this goes along with what you were saying earlier with life insurance. But life insurance is not for you, but it's for those people that you leave behind. And there's the story about the 5-year, not look back, but look ahead. If you were to die now and you may be the main breadwinner in the family, and you were able to look back down on your family in 5 years, what would you like to see? Them destitute, begging for food, having to move out and get in a really crappy home, and broken down cars and no education money set aside? Or would you like to have that
Correct.
life insurance policy in place? 5 years from now, boy, they're well taken care of. So I think you can answer the question of which one you would rather see in 5 years if you pass.
There is a story I'd like to tell clients. When I was working with AIG years and years ago, for clients, it's always the wife that saw the value most of the time in life insurance, not a husband, right? And so I would tell a husband, I said, let's step outside. I mean, not physically do it, but walk with me on this journey. Let's go outside. You leave your wife and your kids here in the kitchen, and it's look into the windows of your home. And what do you see? I see my wife and I see my kids over there playing. Now, this is just a temporary situation. Now, you're never coming back again. Did you make the plans that you wanted for your wife and your children that you left behind? Just like you said earlier, to provide for them, to provide for their quality of life and health and prosperity. If you haven't done it, you need to do it. Think about that. That's powerful.
It is. And just a phone call away, we can provide some quotes. We can educate you on the different options out there. Very simple.
All right, number 6, Tom.
And this is near and dear to my heart. I have a big toothbrush in my office. I think I grabbed from Gary, but I don't know where he got it, but I love that.
I got it from Nebraska from Senior Market Sales.
Oh, okay. Dental and vision insurance, something I used to never personally believe in. I thought it was a waste of money, and I think quite a few different policies out there are a waste of money for dental and vision. But it can be one of the most important yet overlooked insurance products that we educate people about. It should be in your portfolio. And so the importance of having dental and vision insurance, having a conversation about it. Again, we won't try to sell you or push this upon you, but I tell you what, we did many programs here about dental and vision, and we talked about it a lot, and you have a top 10 list about why people should have it. And for me, why it's important, it makes me go to the dentist. Because oral health, I have clients who the oral health has made their body sick. It can even kill you. It can produce cardiac arrest. There's so many things about bad oral health. Right. And, of course, your vision is so important. Our eyesight is something we take for granted. So
speaking about dental insurance, one of the shows, like you said, we talked about the top 10 things that can happen to you when you don't go to the dentist. And I don't think people realize how important that it is to go and get your checkup done and your teeth cleaned every 6 months, because you don't realize the plaque buildup, the tooth decay, the tooth loss, gum disease, I mean, not to mention the bad breath, cavities, tooth stains, oral cancer, risk of disease. People don't realize that those infections that get into your bloodstream go to your heart, and it's one of the leading causes of stroke because you're not taking care of your teeth in your mouth. And, of course, abscesses and infections. So, listen, and Tom's right. There are tons of dental insurance that I wouldn't waste a penny on. But there are a handful that make the absolute sense. Ask us what plans we have.
Exactly.
And we can tell you that plan, why would I buy crappy dental insurance? And nor would I want that. And every client that comes in to talk to us, Tom, we always ask them, what do you have for dental insurance? Oh, I meant to buy dental. I need to get it. Or the dental insurance I have from work sucks, and it's costly, and it doesn't cover anything. Surprise, right? So ask us if you have questions about that dental insurance or the best dental plan that could work for you. And again, the number is 772-210-1020. If you have questions, you want to quote, no obligation. We're here as a resource for you. Tom?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Number 5 and number 4 have to do with our finances, because you say, how does that relate to your health or quality of life? Well, of course, disability insurance is just that. It's insurance. Again, it's also very, very much overlooked. And it's an overlooked security blanket, but it is a security because it protects your income if you're off the job. If you cannot afford to be off your job and not have your paycheck for months and months and months at a time, you don't have that 6 months cushion set aside of money. You don't have money just coming in. But if you're a worker where you have to work, and disability insurance takes care of you if you get disabled temporarily or even for the long term. So that's an insurance product that's very much overlooked, and it's something we've done a couple of shows on as well, Gary.
So I have two stories. I want to piggyback on what you said about the disability insurance. Yeah. We always preach and teach that you should protect your paycheck. That's the number one asset that you have, is your ability to earn an income. So protect that asset. There are so many people that, just like life insurance, they don't see the value of a life insurance. There was a young lady in Jupiter a couple of weeks ago that called, wanted a quote on disability insurance. Unfortunately, she got declined because she had cancer 2 years ago. And then she proceeded to tell me, oh, yeah, that's why I needed disability insurance, because I couldn't work and I have insurmountable medical bills to pay. And so it's like, you don't ask for disability insurance when you're disabled. You don't ask for cancer insurance if you have cancer. Sherry Stevens mentioned that, cancer is affecting so many of my friends. And so that's true. It's a plague that I hope that we can overcome one day. So 1.8 million Americans each year are diagnosed with cancer. So there are affordable cancer plans out there that you can have that will pay upon first diagnosis of internal cancer. Then now you don't have to worry about how you're going to make the paycheck. Now you can focus on getting better and doing your treatments, so you can be there and live longer life and be there for your family. So disability insurance is important, and cancer insurance is important. These are very simple, very affordable policies that you can have. And I don't believe that you should be overinsured, but unfortunately we see the majority of Americans are underinsured, and that is where we at today. So Tom and I are here to be a resource. And if you have questions where you need to know the cost of a policy or more information about it, man, we are here to help and provide that for you anytime.
Yes, absolutely. Number 4, Gary, is fixed annuities, and that's a financial product that helps to protect your hard-earned income. So let's say you've worked at maybe you were a school teacher, or you worked in an office or a factory or for a union, and you were building up that 401k that maybe they contributed part into, and for many people over the last few years, or especially a couple of years ago, the downturn in the market, you begin to see your 401k go down and down and down. Fixed annuities, you're able to put that into an account that there's a bottom, there's a floor. It won't go down, and you can participate in the a percentage of the increase when the market does come back. So that's money insurance in a sense. So that's what I like to call it.
And to your point about compounding interest, I mean,
yeah,
that's
there
fixed
we
annuities.
go.
I mean, I'm telling you, people, do you want to put all of your money into a fixed annuity? No. You've got to have different buckets to put your money in. But compounding interest truly is the eighth wonder of the world. I mean, think about, you have a baby that's born in your family. From the time that baby is born, open up an account and put $5,000 a year into that account. By that time that child is 40 years old, they'll have nearly $2.5 million in 40 years. So by the time they're 40, I wish my parents would have freaking done that for me, Tom. Dear God.
Then you wouldn't be on the radio show
I
right
don't
now,
know,
most likely, and I wouldn't know you.
Who knows that? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But, I mean, it would be nice to have $2.5 million sitting in the bank growing interest every year.
Absolutely.
And you wouldn't have to worry about how you're going to pay the bills and have to worry about the economy. Now, in 60 years, that same $5,000 a year investment now grows to $16.7 million. Folks, compound interest is the greatest equalizer in the world, in my opinion. And you talk about compound interest and that momentum that continues to build, and you see it in your accounts, and it is awesome to see that. But I just wish I hadn't waited so late in the game to realize that when I got in the insurance industry. I wish my parents would have told me when I graduated high school, or even, they didn't have enough money to put $5,000 into my account at the time. They couldn't probably even put $5 into my account at the time. But if you have that opportunity to do that, what a great gift for your child to do.
Absolutely. And they say, the best time to plant an oak tree was 40, 50 years ago. The second best time is today.
Yeah,
so you can get started even with fixed annuities or any of these insurance products we're talking about by giving us a call, and we can show you the way. And as Gary said, do that for your children, a legacy that they'll never forget.
And by the way, real quick, Tom,
yeah.
Will Parham is watching. So, Will, he's up in Brevard County. Good to see you, Will. Thanks for joining us this morning. And then also, real quick, Mike Barbone just sent me a text message. Former Tampa Bay wide receiver Mike Williams dies of dental-related sepsis at age 36. Michael Barbone. Thank you so much for sending that to me. And Mike, thanks for tuning in loyally every single
We love you, Mike.
week. So we appreciate your brother. And Mike Barbone was my very first field manager when I started this agency nearly 7 years ago. So Mike has been with me from the beginning. And Mike, love you and appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 3 on this list, and these are things, and Gary, when you said, what did you learn most? All these 10 things are things that, boy, I knew this information, but being on the show with you, having to prepare, having to really disseminate it down to a certain amount of time and make it clear, it has helped me grow as an insurance agent because I'm able to think clearer and give succinct points about it. And this is one of the things that, again, I've learned from you is get it right the first time. And when you can and when you're eligible. Because so many times when you want to get it right, you're not eligible. It's the availability. It's like I learned this in traveling. I've done a lot of traveling. Go to the bathroom when you can, because many times when you have to go to the bathroom, you can't. So force yourself to go to the bathroom. But the same thing with getting it right with your insurance. Get it right now and not later when you may not be eligible for it.
Very good. And then we got 2 more to go, and then we can expand on more of what we did over the last 3 years.
And these will just kind of flow right into one another. Don't take advice from family, friends, and neighbors if they are not proven health insurance professionals. And that brings us to number 1. The number 1 lesson I believe that we've espoused and we believe in, and I truly believe in this as it relates to all professions, but in our insurance profession, you don't have to take the road alone. Everyone out there listening, do not take the road alone. Contact an independent insurance broker who has years of experience. Gary taught me this as well. Ask them, how long have you been doing this? How many people have you helped? Do you work with just one company, or are you a broker, meaning you represent and are appointed with many carriers? Someone who's got a proven track record and one who operates with integrity, transparency, and a fiduciary. And one of the last things I definitely want to say, Gary, is this. I'm so proud of our stance of integrity, transparency, fiduciary responsibility to our clients. I've had 3 clients over the last week and a half who told me this. They said, the agent I was working with, I had to fire them. They were telling me wrong information. The other husband and wife were saying, this guy was being so aggressive with our employees. This was a group plan. And the husband chimed in and said, no, he wasn't aggressive. He was a blankety blank. And then the other person said, oh, yeah, this other agent, they just seem so fake and cheesy and just is like I couldn't even stand listening to them talk. And so they chose me because I believe I've learned so much about integrity. Just have a conversation. So that's what we do at Owen Insurance Group. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to walk the road alone. We're here for you.
Yeah, and you walk into our office, Tom, located at 1611 Northwest Federal Highway, just north of the Roosevelt Bridge, right behind Key West Diner. When you walk into our office, the very first thing you see on the wall above, it says, "Don't take the road alone." There's no need to do that. And to your point on topic number 2, I want to hit that home run on that one. So it's funny when we get clients or prospective clients that come in to our office where they call us and I want that plan that my spouse has or my friend has. My friend's a golfer and he's telling me this XYZ plan is the best plan. He loves it. And I'm like, all right. So there's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Not everyone wears a size 5 shoe. That'd be very kind of odd to see people walking around wearing a size 5 shoe. So we all have different size shoes to wear. We all have different size pants that we wear and shirts. Same thing with insurance. There is not a one-size-fits-all solution. So we did an exercise on that plan based on his drug formulary and his doctors on that one Medicare Advantage plan that his buddy is on. It actually came in like number 12 out of the top 12 list, and he would have paid $1,800 a year for his prescription drugs had he gone without plan. Had he called the 800 number, he would have been hosed by calling that 800 number. We're going to get to 800 numbers here in just a second.
Good.
So the point is there is not a one-size-fits-all. So have, like Tom says, go and seek out an independent broker that has your best interest at heart, because you can make a wrong decision. It could cost you immensely, and you may not be able to make a transition down the road, let's say, to a Medicare supplement plan if you don't know the time frames, if you don't know anything about trial right periods. This is what the experience that Tom and I have, that we impart and we educate, as Tom said, we educate our consumers. It's important to be transparent. We're not a one-and-done type of agency. We want to make sure that you're covered in all areas. We ask you in-depth questions to make sure that you have the plans, the policies that you need that will protect you for the rest of your life. And then topic number 1. So again, being a fiduciary, we always act in a fiduciary manner, meaning that doing those things that are both legal and ethical, and only recommending those policies that are best suited for you. Yes, it may be best suited for this other plan that you may be thinking about that your friend has or your spouse has. Might be good for them, but most of the time it's probably not going to be good for you. And then this past year, Tom, during this annual enrollment period, we had a plethora of people calling in wanting that give back plan from this one company. And so again, there's not a free lunch. There's nothing that's zero cost. So when you talk about a zero premium plan that has a Social Security give back component to it, there is give and take in those types of plans. So again, if you don't know the particulars, that's what Tom and I are here for. That's what our agents are here for, our managers. We are here to provide you counsel, good information. We will be your guide. We will take you by the hand, and we will take you to the promised land if you want to go to the promised land, or finding you the best policy available for you that fits your specific needs.
And Gary, when you were mentioning about the advice from family or friends, and of course, every agent has people come to them and say, I want the same plan that my friend had. They don't pay anything for their drugs, or they don't pay this, or they get $150 a month for food to go shopping with. Well, one thing their friend forgot to tell them is they get special assistance from the government called Extra Help, or LIS, Low Income Subsidy, that helps pay for their medication potentially, or they're on state Medicaid where their Part B premium is paid. They're on a certain special plan called a dual plan, Medicare and Medicaid plan, and they're getting all these other benefits. So they may not tell you the reasons why they have that plan, and you wouldn't even qualify for it. So you need somebody that's able to dissect it all and help have a conversation. And if you can't have a legitimate, just peaceful conversation with your insurance agent, you always feel like they're trying to sell you something, well, listen, I'm not going to tell you to fire them, but just give us a chance. Give us a call, and we'll have a conversation and help you not walk the road alone.
And that number is 772-210-1020. Give us a call. We're here to help. Again, to be a resource. Two more things I want to cover. We only have, Evan, 9 minutes left? 8 minutes left. So in those 8 minutes, let's talk about a big scam in Florida that's still happening, and then we'll talk about some 2024 changes to Medicare that you need to know about real quick. So a big scam is related to Medicare and health insurance scams. And so what's happening is, people are calling them trying to say, hey, we need your Medicare number to confirm that you received. People are turning 65. This is happening all the time. So you'll get a phone call, and sometimes the phone number can be hidden and spoofed to show that it's Social Security and Medicare. It's really crazy what's going on in technology today, where these nefarious bad actors are taking advantage of consumers. So be careful. Medicare is never, or Social Security is never going to call you and ask you for your Medicare number. Don't fall for that prank. Don't fall for it. Genetic testing. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the COVID-19 scam. So, all kinds of scams are out there. They're trying to get your Medicare information. Fraudsters are out there all over the place. If you don't know who you're talking to, hang up. If they're asking you for your Social Security number, hang up. Don't give it to them. Make sure you vet them. If you're talking to an agent and you're being enrolled in a Medicare plan, it's okay to vet that agent. Ask questions. Ask probing questions. Confirm who they are. Look them up on the internet. Look them up on their website. Look them up on the Department of Insurance website. So look them up on Better Business Bureau. Do your due diligence. That is absolutely important. And for those of you that are turning 65, I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to be bombarded. For those of you that are born in 1959, I have a message for you.
They're coming for you.
Give us a call, because you are going to be inundated with phone calls, emails, junk mail, maybe even unannounced door knocks. So it's confusing enough as it is. Do not fall prey. And we mentioned earlier the 800 numbers. Listen, all these people that are in that call center have one common goal in mind, and that's to enroll consumers in Medicare Advantage plans. That's their number one goal, and they have to do so many per day to hit their numbers. Otherwise, they get booted from their seat and they lose their job. So be cognizant of that. Be careful of that. Don't fall victim to calling an 800 number. Seek out a local independent agent that represents you and have numerous contracts available that will best fit your specific needs. So, and then in closing, I guess, Tom, I think we could probably talk about I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about the top 10. Should we do the top 10 Medicare mistakes, or top 10 mistakes to avoid, or do we do the 2024 Medicare changes? I don't think we necessarily need to do the Medicare changes, so let's go right to the top 10.
Perfect.
One good thing what was on top of my list for 2024 is that Social Security, the COLA increase to 3.2%. So those of you that are taking Social Security benefits will see another increase in your payment next month. So congratulations to those of you. And then also the Part D drug situation has changed. So many people are so confused about it. They're worried about it because the cost of drugs are going through the roof. And in the United States, the cost of drugs are the most expensive, unfortunately, in the world. But anyway, the good thing is in 2024, some changes for Part D. Even though the deductible has increased to $545 for this year, the catastrophic phase threshold increased to $8,000 for 2024. There will be fewer drugs that are going to be charging for $0 copays because of the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act. But the cost of drugs are being negotiated with the government. Also, the catastrophic phase, we'll see what we expect to see for 2024, that you and the cost of drugs that you pay with the manufacturer and so forth should not exceed $3,300 for 2024. And beginning in 2025, the cap on Part D is going to be $2,000. So some good things coming for Medicare Part D. Top 10, and then we'll close with this. The top 10 mistakes to avoid. Number 1, not knowing when, where, or how to apply for Medicare. Most people think they're going to go to Medicare to apply for Medicare. No, you have to go to Social Security. You can go to their website, which is the easiest way to do it, ssa.gov, and apply. You could call them on the phone, or you could go to the local Medicare or Social Security office and apply for your Medicare.
Or give Owen Insurance Group a call.
And we will help you. Yep, we will help you navigate that. Absolutely. Tom, number 2.
Not knowing how much you will pay for original Medicare Parts A and B. So there are costs involved. You may have paid in over 40 years or 40 quarters or 10 years, and you get Part A at no cost generally, but Part B normally has a premium. Depending on your income, you may not have a premium, or you may have a large premium. So we can instruct you on that as well.
And then number 3, choosing to only enroll in original Medicare without a Medicare supplement plan or a Part C Medicare Advantage plan.
Number 4, deciding not to enroll in Part D, prescription drug plan. So if you don't have a prescription drug plan currently that's equal to what Medicare would reimburse and Medicare would take care of, called credible coverage, you will get a late enrollment penalty if you try to enroll in a drug plan in the future.
Number 5, not knowing the difference between an IEP, or initial enrollment period, the AEP, annual enrollment period, OEP, open enrollment period, SEP, special election period, GEP, general enrollment period. OMG, there's too many acronyms.
So who are you going to call?
Owen Insurance Group.
OIG.
Number 6, Tom.
Not knowing if you should stay on your group plan or enroll in a Medicare plan. That's a conversation to have with an agent who's not going to pressure you to do what is in their best interest.
And I just had that conversation with Evan before we started the show, whether or not he should enroll in Medicare or stay on a group plan. So listen, as much as we'd love to have his business, it makes more sense for him to stay on this group plan. We've got 2 minutes left. Number 7, not knowing how to choose a suitable and cost-effective Medicare plan. Number 8.
Not taking advantage of the Medicare AEP or open enrollment period.
That's right. Number 9, misunderstanding the difference between Medicare Advantage versus Medicare supplement.
Aren't they the same,
Oh,
Gary?
my God. So many do. So many people
think
switch from
they
one
are.
to another at any time. No, people.
Oh, yeah, during their
Get
annual
informed.
change.
And number 10.
Not choosing the right independent
Boom.
insurance agency or agent to be your unbiased guide, and someone to have a conversation is what you need.
Listen, there's a lot of choices out there, but there's only one choice that you need to make. That's calling Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. Listen, from the bottom of my heart, we truly appreciate those of you that have been tuning in for the past 3 years to our radio show. Thank you so much. And we are all out of time. And with that, listen, have a great, happy, healthy, prosperous 2024. And thanks for joining us on our final show. And remember, please, everybody, stay safe, be happy, keep healthy, and enjoy your quality of life.